Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City's virtual docket. Today is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. The board will be hearing regular items this morning. I'm just going to quickly go through the presentation. I'd ask that if you're not speaking right now, please put your devices on mute. Just very quickly, there's the introduction to the WebEx platform. There's a link right here underneath one of the bullet points where you can click on this link right now and you will go to the web page. There's an access code and a password. If you do not have access to a smartphone, computer, or other similar device, down at the bottom you can call in and listen to the hearings. Their materials and copies of the docket can be found on our website, and there is a link here on the second page. So please go to that link and you'll see all the materials that the board has in their possession. The 48-hour rule with evidence. Note again that with these hearings, try to get all the evidence to the board at least 48 hours before the hearing. No amendments can be made on these cases at the hearing. If there's an attempted amendment to be made, you'll postpone the hearing. Just the procedures. I'm going to be calling the cases. There'll be a hearing. The applicant will have an opportunity to present their case to the board. The board may have questions. After the applicant presents their case, I will call out to the public, and if any member of the public wants to testify, they can use the raise your hand feature. I will see you raise your hand, and I will then you will be placed into the meeting. You'll be sworn in and give testimony. The board is not authorized to discuss non-case related matters. And just some ground rules for the hearing process. When your case is called, please make sure that you state your name clearly. We have a court reporter who's taking notes. And if you're going to be giving testimony, please be prepared to be sworn in. If you're going to be giving testimony, please make sure you have access to a smartphone, computer, or tablet so that the court reporter can see you when swearing in. With that, Mr. Chair, may I please start the docket?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mr. Chair, preliminary matter, case number 7 on the docket, Lombard Liquor and Bar, 1000 West Lombard Street. It's Class BD7. This matter has been postponed and will be placed on the docket for a future date.
Okay.
And with that, I'll call the first case. First case is Ms. Angela Henry, Montego Bay Bakery and Carryout Restaurant LLC, trading as Montego Bay, 3602 Rogers Avenue. This is an application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor license under Provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 12, 1603 C1 small I, requiring $200,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities, 40% of food sales and seating capacity for a minimum of 75 people, requesting live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Indulgence, Mr. Chair, while I bring in the parties for the first case. Ms. Henry, Mr. Rick, I'm bringing you in right now. So can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Great. We have Ms. Henry and Mr. Rick are present.
They're not represented by counsel.
No, they are not.
Okay. Would you swear them, please, Mr. Reporter?
Yes, sir. Let's see. All those here to testify, please raise your right hand. And I need to see some video from Ms. Henry.
Ms. Henry, can you please turn on your video?
We tried to do it. So start my video. Can you see it?
Wait. We had it for a second.
I have it, sir. Raise your right hand, please. Swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth.
Yes. You have to say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can't really hear him.
Can you repeat yourself, Mr. Reporter?
Yes. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Henry, I'm Commissioner Pucciani. You've got an application for a new Class B license with live entertainment outdoor table service. Will you tell us about this operation?
That's your volume.
That's the loudest one. Yes, that's the question.
I'm sorry, am I on?
You are.
Okay, did you hear me, Ms. Henry?
No, we didn't
I
hear the
can-
question.
Okay, question is, would you please tell us about the application?
He said, tell us about the application. So basically, this is Rick.
I don't know that Rick was sworn in.
Yeah.
Ms. Henry and Mr. Rick, it's hard to see you guys. I don't know if there's another way to do this. And I don't know, Mr. Rick, that we saw you sworn in either. So we got to get this right.
Okay.
Okay,
Can you see us now?
Yes.
All right.
do you want to swear them?
You want me to swear in now?
Please.
Sorry, raise your right hand. Swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth.
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
All
so is your last name Rick, sir?
Leandry.
But you go by Rick?
Yes, I go by Rick. Yes.
Okay, and what is your relationship to Ms. Henry?
I've worked in the community and I've been assisting them with this process.
Okay.
They are Caribbean and there's been some challenges with obtaining the license and basically understanding the process. So I've
Okay.
been just basically helping.
So can you tell us what it is that they're proposing to do at Rogers Avenue?
Yes, so they have developed part of the building into a restaurant area, and they have a capacity of 120 in the restaurant area, and they want to be able to serve wine, liquor to the patrons for the restaurant side of their business.
Okay. And what's been their financial investment in the property and in the operation?
It's been over 200,000. We sent in the actual appraisal capital investment. We sent it in with the application. They didn't obtain a copy of it, but the liquor board does have it. But it's been over 200, I believe over 250,000 investment into the restaurant side.
Okay. And I see that there was a letter of support from the community.
Yes, we have the letter from the neighborhood association, Mr. Larry Miles, the president of the neighborhood association. He sent in a letter of support, and also Pimlico Merchants, the business district here in Pimlico area. They also sent a letter of support.
Okay. So what would be the nature of the restaurant?
The nature, it's a Caribbean food restaurant. They just want to be able to have entertainment here, outdoor seating. They already currently serve out of a carryout side, and they've been in business over 30 years. They've been in business over 30 years. Staple in the community. A lot of the community neighborhood associations have meetings here.
Mm-hmm.
They do back to school giveaways for the youth. They give away hundreds of book bags. They serve them meals. So they're a real staple here in the Pimlico area.
Okay. And who is going to manage the alcohol?
Miss Henry?
And is she certified?
Yes.
Yes, it just renewed the license.
She just renewed her.
No, I'm to renew.
Oh, you have to renew.
Due for renewal.
Okay.
And
She has to. Go ahead.
Is anyone else going to be handling alcohol for you, Miss Henry?
No,
Just you?
yes,
Okay. So you understand if you hire anyone else, they need to be certified and they have to
Yes.
understand all our rules and regulations.
yes, sir.
Okay. And I know that Mr. Greenfield's going to ask you this. So what's the nature of the live entertainment?
So he said, what's the nature of the live entertainment? So they have in the outdoor patio area in the back, there's a stage, and they want a live band, Caribbean bands, jazz bands, and also during their back to school giveaway, they have a DJ for the youth. that plays music while the children eat and receive their back to school supplies.
Okay, Commissioner, do you have questions?
Any questions?
Questions from the commissioners?
I have no questions. Commissioner Guy.
Thank you.
So let me just make sure, Ms. Henry, you've been at this restaurant for 30 years?
Well, it's been in business for 30 years. Yes, sir.
Wow, good for you. That's terrific.
Thank you.
And I think all my questions have been answered. My comment is great job on the community outreach, and clearly you've been a good corporate citizen there. And if you have any questions about our rules and regulations, feel free to contact our staff. Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Is there public comment, Mr. Akers?
One moment, Mr. Chair. If there are any individuals that would wish to give public comment in regards to this case, please use the raise your hand feature. Mr. Chair, I do not see anybody that wishes to give public comment on this matter.
Okay, thank you. So Ms. Henry and Mr. Rick, on the basis of the materials that you have submitted in support of your application and your testimony this morning, as well as the letters received from the community organization in support, I vote to approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with live entertainment, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Commissioner,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you have to hear from the others.
Will she receive a letter in the mail? Or
First, where's Commissioner Guy?
Okay, I'm here.
What is your vote?
My vote is to approve the application upon the review and of the evidence and the testimony presented this morning.
Thank you. Commissioner Greenfield?
Yeah, pending the confirmation of the investment and the seating capacity, et cetera, I too would vote to approve this new Class B license, outdoor table service, off-premise catering, and delivery of alcohol.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Akers, will you explain about the letter?
I will. At the conclusion of this hearing, we're going to be mailing you a copy of all the requirements that we're going to need in order for you to complete this process and have the license issued.
Thank you, Ms. Russell.
Yes, I'd like to call this for the record. Letter of support from JNNRL Neighborhood Association. Board Exhibit 2, letter of support from Chemical Merchant Association. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling the next case, Robin Harris, II Incorporated, trade name pending, 291 South Pulaski Street. There's an application to transfer ownership requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages for a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. If you'll just give me one moment, I will pull in Ms. Harris. Ms. Harris, I've made you a panelist. Could you please turn on your video?
Okay.
Morning. Would the reporter please swear, Ms. Harris?
Ms. Harris, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I swear.
Thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Harris. So you have applied for us to transfer this BD7 license to you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what your intentions are?
Okay. My background is I'm a 911 operator currently. I've been an operator for Baltimore County 911 for about 33 years. And I plan to make this property packaged goods, bar and packaged goods.
Okay. And do you have any experience in handling alcohol?
I've worked in bars before, yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, so are you familiar with our rules and regulations?
Yes, sir.
And are you tip certified?
Am I what certified? I'm sorry.
You have the certification with
Oh,
respect.
no, no, sir.
Will you be getting that?
Yes, definitely.
And will you be the only person at the packaged goods stores handling the alcohol?
No, myself, and I plan to have a manager, Ty Akbaje,
Okay, so they're going to have to get certified as well
certified as well. Yes, sir.
and be made familiar with our rules and regulations.
Yes.
We have regular inspections. We have people checking that there aren't sales to minors, that the purchases are from the proper places, and all of our other rules and regulations about our time and your record keeping. So,
Yes.
okay. And when would you be taking this over?
Let me see. As soon as we got the license.
Okay, it's open now?
No,
No, it's not open. Okay.
no, but we've been doing work there.
Okay. All right, thank you. The commissioners have any questions for Ms. Harris?
I was looking at the ownership breakdown. My only question is that there appears to be there's 2% of the ownership is not accounted for. Can you?
2%? My numbers might be wrong. Madison should be accounted for. She was the last.
Well, based on the information that I have and calculated, there's only 98% of the ownership accounted for.
My numbers must be off. It's in the package.
Not on the phone, but there's an attachment.
There was an attachment.
Says
Ownership stockholders.
email address of all.
So can you take a look at those documents?
Document. It says name and addresses of all outstanding stockholders. And there's 7.
So total 100%.
And the total is 100%. Last page of the application, I believe, or close to it. Number 4, I think page 4.
There is an additional page in the document. We'll email it to you, Commissioner Guy,
Okay.
with additional names. And it equals out to 100%.
Yeah, are you saying that there's still another person to add on?
It was added already.
We have
You have 7 individuals.
Yes, sir.
correct.
Am I
It's 7
correct?
individuals. 7 individuals, correct.
Okay, and the calculation the last person, Madison,
Yes.
Miss Addison, has 12%.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may want to check that again. When I calculated that, I came up with 98%.
There's a Paul and a Leah who's missing off of the commissioner's docket. Paul has 12%, Aaliyah has 12%. And I believe those are the 2 missing individuals.
Additional page.
Okay.
100%.
Any other questions?
No, that's the only question I had.
All right, thank you. Mr.
Ms.
Green?
Ms. Harris, I just have one question. This has been in this community, it seems like for a while, at least for the existing owner, for something like 8 years, and they seem like they have a pretty good record.
Yes.
There aren't any real violations. There's one from years ago. Seems like it's a well-run establishment. I guess my only question is, have you reached out to the community?
Yes, definitely. There's a lot of other businesses in the community who I hope to cater to. There's a construction company, a hardware store, McCoy Construction, which is
Right.
like a big office building.
Right. Well, my only, I guess, final comment is that you are to meet and get to know the community groups, the community associations and neighborhood associations around,
Okay,
so that, because frankly, that's where, that's where a lot of issues may arise. So I'd encourage you to do
right.
that.
Yes, sir.
Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ackers, we have community,
One moment, Mr. Chair. If there are any individuals who'd like to testify in this case from the community, please use the raise your hand function now. I'll make you a panelist so that you can provide testimony. Mr. Chair, I see no individuals that are using the raise their hand function to wish to desire to testify.
okay, thank you. Ms. Harris, on the basis that the materials contained in your application, as well as the documents Ms. Russell referenced in her comments and your testimony, I would vote to approve the application to transfer this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license to you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Commissioners?
Commissioner Guy, upon the review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board this morning, I also vote to approve the application before the board.
Okay, thank you,
And
sir.
I join my colleagues in voting to approve the transfer of the BD7 with delivery of alcoholic beverages. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ms. Russell?
Medical exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, name and address of all outstanding stockholder breakdown. Thank you.
And Ms. Harris, just
Yes,
to let you know, you'll be receiving correspondence in the mail regarding the next steps that you have to complete in order to get the license issued.
okay, thank you very much.
Problem. Thank you, ma'am. Calling the next case, Ann Kersey, So Philly LLC, trading as Chasers, 2501-03 Fleet Street. This is an application transfer ownership of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Just give me a moment. I'll pull the parties in.
Nope, I got it.
Mr. Fogelman.
Yes, good morning.
Well,
Stephen
hold
W.
on, Ms. Fogelman. We're just, oh, there it is. We've got your video on now. Can you
Thank
hear
you
me,
very
Mr.
much.
Fogelman?
Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of Ann Kersey, applicant.
Good morning, Ms. Fogelman. Can we swear your client, please?
Yes, please raise your right hand.
You swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony about to give will be the truth.
I did.
Thank you.
Ms. Fogelman, you want to tell us about this application?
Certainly. First, I'd like to personally welcome Commissioner Guy to the board. It's a pleasure to appear before you in this manner.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
And look forward to appearing before you, maybe without a mask in the future.
Looking forward to it.
So, is it for you in the licensed establishment? Last year, the board approved the transfer to Ms. Kersey, but unfortunately, she ran out of time. She completed all of her inspections, got her use and occupancy permit, but then ran into an issue on the tax side with the seller and was unable to cure that problem before the statutory period had expired. We expect this transfer to go very smoothly because she's gotten the legwork effectively completed last time. Ms. Kersey has worked at this establishment, 2501 Fleet Street, for over 5 years. She's been the general manager. She's been alcohol certified, management certified. She also served as a bartender at the Blarney Stone for 5 years prior to that. So she certainly knows what's expected of her by this board.
And has the place, well, it hasn't been open, has it, recently?
It's only been open very recently. No, I mean, but this has been a continuing establishment for many years.
Right, I understand. Okay, and nothing's changing?
Not at all.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
I have none.
No questions.
Okay, public comment, Mr. Akers?
Indulgence. If there are any member of the public who would like to comment on this case, please use the raise your hand function. Mr. Chair, I see no one that wishes or desires to make comment on this case.
Okay, thank you. On the basis then of the materials that were contained in the application, the proffers from Mr. Fogelman, and any testimony received, I put to approve the transfer of this PD 7 license to Ms. Kersey.
Commissioner Guy, upon review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board this morning, I also vote to approve the application before the board.
I join my colleagues in voting to approve the transfer of ownership.
Thank you. Ms. Russell?
No exhibits.
Mr. Fogelman, please note that we will be sending you correspondence in the mail as to the next steps you and your client must take in order to complete the transfer of this application.
Thank you, Mr. Akers. Thank you, Commissioners, Mr. Chairman.
Have a good day.
Calling the next case, Manny Raj Jurong and Montgomery Jones, Koshi LLC, trading as Corky's Liquors, 5404 through 06 York Road, is a Class A beer wine liquor license and application to transfer ownership. And bear with me, I'm bringing on Mr. Kudinski, who's the attorney, and I believe he's working with Mr. Hurdle. Can you please turn on the camera, Mr. Hurdle? And there's Mr. Jerome. Okay, great. Both the cameras are on.
All right, council would identify themselves for the record, please.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street.
Hello, sir. My name is Mani Gurung.
Good morning. Is Mr. Hurdle on the case as well?
He's not, sir. Mr. Hurdle is just helping Mr. Kudinski.
All right, let's swear Mr. Gurung.
If you raise your right hand, you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief.
I swear.
Thank you. Mr. Kudinski, you want to tell us about the application?
It seems like Mr. Kudinski is having some technical difficulties. Mr. Kudinski, are you here? It seems like his bandwidth is low. Mr. Chair, I can, the next three cases are actually Mr. Kudinski's.
Can you get him or something?
Sorry, sir. I can't hear. I did not hear.
We're trying to connect with Mr. Kudinski.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Kudinski's having some technical difficulties. Wait a minute, he may have just come back. Mr. Kudinski, are you back? I think Mr. Kudinski is having some continues to have some technical difficulties.
But maybe Mr. Gurung can tell us.
Hi, sir. My full name is Maniraj Gurung. So I'm trying to transfer the ownership for Corky's Liquor.
Yeah. Do you have experience in managing alcohol?
I have not.
Are you going to be the person running the operation?
I'll be in the store for 7 days, but I'll be hiring a manager, and he's already working there. So he's gonna help me for almost a year.
And are both of you going to become certified with respect to the sale and management of alcohol?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long has he been working there?
For 4 to 5 years.
What is his name?
Upendra Shrestha.
And anybody else going to be handling alcohol?
I'm back.
I might hire some employees, and I'll make sure they are certified too.
Okay.
Pardon me, Mr. Chair, I apologize. I think we may have Kadinsky back on. Mr. Kadinsky, are you on?
I'm back here now. Can
Okay,
you see me?
Your client has been doing a good job without you.
I guess I have to send him another bill then.
Right. That he wants to take over, he's going to use the manager in place, and he may hire other people, and they'll all be tip certified. Are there any other changes that are going to occur?
No changes. And in fact, I have the city resident here. You may see him. He's been there. He's going to continue. I have the other sellers here, and they're going to stay on and help them out to complete this transfer.
Okay. Do the commissioners have any questions for the applicant?
I have no questions, Commissioner Guy.
Just have a comment. Looks like the current licensees have done a really good job in running the operation. Particularly, I understand this is an occupation that's probably near some universities. So, Mr. Garang, I'd encourage you to be very sensitive to and very aware, vigilant about checking IDs for underage drinking, given kind of the location. But that's my only comment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'll make sure I'll check the IDs, and I'll make sure I'll keep good relationships with the community.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Akras, is there public comment?
Indulgence, Mr. Chair. If there's any individuals who wish to give testimony in this matter, please use the raise your hand function. Mr. Chairman, I see no individuals who desire to give testimony in this case.
Okay, thank you. On the basis then of the materials contained in the application, the proffers from counsel, and the testimony received, I would vote to approve the application to transfer ownership.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Guy, upon review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board this morning, I also vote to approve the application before the board.
I join my colleagues in approving the application to transfer ownership. Good luck.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ms. Russell?
Mr. Hurdle, please note that we'll be sending you correspondence in the mail regarding the next steps that you and your clients need to take to complete this transfer.
I guess he'll forward it to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Calling the next case, Nikita Daniels and Lawrence Ogo Oshoff, ONS Enterprises Limited, trading as Caton Castle, 20 South Caton Avenue. Pardon me, 20 South Caton Avenue. This is an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service, requesting off-premise catering for a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Mr. Kadinsky, can you please turn on your camera?
All right. We okay?
All right.
Wait a minute.
Ms. Daniels, you've been made a panelist. Please, Ms. Daniels, you've been made a panelist. Please turn on your video.
We have Mr. Daniels.
I checked them in, and I've made Ms. Daniels a panelist. So I'm trying to. Yep, there it is, Ms. Daniels. Ms. Daniels,
Other people come back.
can you hear me? Ms. Daniels. I see the video of Ms. Daniels.
But she's not able to speak.
Can you please turn on your microphone, Ms. Daniels?
Can you tell me something about a mute button?
Yeah, but it's a mute.
No, you can hear it now.
I can hear you.
I don't
Ms.
hear
Daniels,
anything.
Ms. Daniels, can you hear me?
I'm like, hello. I
Yeah,
can't
we see
hear.
you.
Did you unmute us?
Wait, you are unmuted.
Okay, let's swear
You
her.
see it? See what they're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Can they see me?
Can we swear Ms. Daniels in, please?
Can you hear me, Ms.
They
Daniels?
got me.
You can't hear us.
But I still don't hear anything. I can't hear nothing, people.
I don't know what's wrong.
Is it up?
Hey, Ms. Daniels, you're.
Is the volume on the microphone up?
Yeah, it should be. It's good. We're good. Come on down. See, I see it right here.
The person at mailbox 770.
No, come on down.
I did that. That's all it's doing. See this over here? It's just showing you this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Let's see if we can proceed.
I don't know.
Mr. Kadensky, can you make a proffer, please?
I can, for the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street. This is a transfer from an estate. The individuals that are there have been running the place probably for the last 30 years. There won't be any change. The current licensee had passed away. And in fact, you should have a letter in front of you from the community that indicates that they've really done enough from the community, from Mr. Page. They've done a really great job there, and they're a real asset to the community. They have music on the weekends, and they haven't had any problems. But you know, the new people will take all the alcohol awareness courses and everything they need to take.
And are the new people working there now?
Yes, they are. They're the same people.
Okay.
The fact is that Mrs. Scott had passed away, and Mr. Scott has been there the whole time. He is a 50% owner, as indicated, but not a licensee.
Okay. All right. So no other changes?
No other change. It'll be exactly the same corporation, everything else.
All right. Do commissioners have any questions?
I have none.
No questions.
Okay. Public comment?
At this time, if any
And
member
that
of
was
the public,
muted.
at this time, if any member of the public would like to give testimony in this matter, please use the raise your hand function. Mr. Chairman, I see no one that wishes or desires to give testimony in this case.
All right. Thank you. So on the basis that the materials contained in the application and the proffers from council, and given that there are really no substantial changes whatsoever, just a change in the ownership of the license, I would vote to approve the transfer.
It doesn't have me on video, though.
Commissioner Guy, upon the review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board this morning, I also vote to approve the application before the board for the transfer.
I join my colleagues in approving the transfer of ownership, continuation of live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premise catering.
Thank you. Ms. Russell?
I'd call exhibit for the board. Board Exhibit 1, letter of commitment dated 10/10/2019.
Thank you.
Mr. Hurdle, please note that we'll be mailing you correspondence in regards to the next steps that you and the applicant must take in order to complete this transfer.
Let's see. Because they don't have me on there, I assume.
Well, you don't need to see yourself.
All right, let's proceed.
I'm going to call the next case, calling Richard Nelson and Kivia Beard Moore, Richie's Entertainment LLC, trading as Good Times Liquor and Bar Lounge, 1600 West Baltimore Street. There's an application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment, requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages for a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Just give me a moment, and I will. Mr. Kadinsky, are the applicants with you for this case? I believe the applicants were with Mr. Kadinsky for this case, so I'm just waiting on him. It seems like.
Yeah, they're here with me.
Okay, great.
All right, so would you identify yourself for the record, please?
For the record, Melvin J. Kanensky, 320 North Charles Street. And I'll give the other individuals, give their names, state your name.
Richard Nelson.
Kevia Beard Moore.
Let's swear them in, please.
Raise your right hands.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kadinsky, you want to tell us?
Yeah, this is a transfer of an existing location. The gentleman has had about 7 or 8 years experience dispensing alcohol. He worked on cruise ships, which I think is a novelty. And he claims he's met with a lot of people in the community. I think they are welcoming him in. I think The prior owner, Mr. Kim, has had some run-ins with the neighborhood. It's sometimes because they had some communication problems. He claims he won't make any changes. He's going to spruce the place back up again. He'll take the alcohol awareness course. Ms. Moore will be there as for moral support. Says she might do some comedy on weekends, but I think that's about it.
And is Mr. Nelson the only one handling the alcohol?
And either him's going to handle it or any of his managers will also be alcohol certified.
And these neighborhood issues, have they been resolved?
In fact, they're really happy that there's going to be a change in ownership there. And he's been visited the place many times and talked to many of the neighbors.
Okay. Anything else going to change?
No, nothing else will be changed. They'll have some, light music on the weekends like they did in the past. Some karaoke. Hopefully people sing on key and so forth.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
I have none.
I just clarification, Mr. Kadensky, you said it was location, but it's just a transfer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I must have misspoke, as they say.
It happens. It happens to people who even sing karaoke off key.
Yeah. And when you drink a lot, it's that too.
Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Akers, we have public comment.
One moment. If there are any individuals from members of the public who would like to speak and give testimony in this case, please use the raise your hand function. Mr. Chair, no individuals who wish or desire to provide testimony in this case.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffers from counsel, and any testimony received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership with continued live entertainment and delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Commissioner Guy, upon the review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board this morning, I also vote to approve the application before the board of transferring the ownership and the continuation of the entertainment, question delivery, and alcoholic beverages.
I join my colleagues in approving the transfer of ownership with continuation of live entertainment and delivery of alcoholic beverages. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Russell.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No exhibits.
Mr. Kadinsky, please note that we'll be sending you correspondence in the mail concerning the next steps that the applicant and yourself will take to complete the license transfer process.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Akers. Does that complete our docket for today?
Mr. Chair, that completes our docket. We are adjourned. We will be posting on our website the next date for our cases, which will be July 9th, 2020.
Thank you. That should conclude our hearing then. Good. Have a good day, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you. You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Board is in recess.